Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day to everyone. I'm Diewthy Chandran. I live in Kochi, Kerala. I don't think I'm a storyteller per se. Yes, I do share a few of my experiences with like-minded people. And when you are 70 plus, you have loads of them you will remember off and on. And today I'm going to share with all of you an experience which is titled The English Catalyst. This is the story of a 13-year-old, very ordinary girl who lived in an agriculture-based, laid-back, happy-go-lucky village. The village had the basic facilities of a couple of local schools, a dispensary, a post office, a few grocery shops, and a few stationery shops. That's all. She went to the local school. She considers herself to be a very good student because she used to get good marks in all subjects except maths. Maths was her Achilles heel. But she also participated in everything that happened in the school, whether it's dance or, I have to say singing. No, she just couldn't sing for nuts. But everything else, whether it's sports or sketching or running or jumping or everything, she won a few. But she wasn't bothered about winning or not winning. What she actually wanted in her life was to be happy always. Anything that happens in her life, she wanted to be happy. Her teachers were all fond of her. She had a lot of good friends, always happy, chirpy, cheerful girl. Let's call her Maya. Maya's parents were also teachers. They taught in a different school in the locality. So when she was ready to start college, that is, those days it was you pass out of 10th and then you go to the college. So her parents decided to send her to a recently started school by Christian missionaries. And she was overjoyed because it's going to be new people, a new place, and everything is going to be new. She was extremely happy to experience that newness that's going to happen in her life. Now, the day before she has to leave, she packed her bags with everything new, her new formals, her new casuals, her uniforms, then her new notebooks, her textbooks, her stationery, her toiletries, her bedrolls, everything she packed. All very excited. Her mom also packed a small bag with her favorite snacks because it's the first time she is going to leave her home. So her mom didn't want her to really miss her favorite things as long as these things last. So she was all ready, excited. Before she went off to sleep that night, she went and said bye to all her friends, her relatives, her dogs, cats, everything around her, and told them, I'm going to a new place and I'll come back soon. Before she went off to sleep, her mother just came and told her, see, this is a new experience for you. Just keep in mind that you may face problems. If you want to continue, continue, but you are always welcome back if you don't want to. But then our choices will be very few. Couple of years you will hang around here, and when the right match comes, we will get you married off to somebody. That's the way her mother was always. She was very practical, very realistic. She didn't beat around the bush. So our Maya knew that she has two choices, either to get married and live a happy married life, or to chase her dreams and move. Next morning, her father took her to the college. From the college, he took her to the boarding house, because she has to live there, and handed her over to the warden. When she was looking around, there were hundreds of girls around her. Some of them, they were not letting their parents go, hanging on to them. Some of them were nervous and scared. Few of them were crying, and few of them, they were least bothered. So they were generally giggling away and happy. Her father left her with the warden, and he moved forward. And a few steps, he turned back and looked at her. That is when she felt lonely and sad. She literally wanted to run after her father and go with him and go back to her home. But she said, no, we are just starting. They were all taken to their rooms. And the next 3 days, she realized that her life, maybe for a few days, maybe for a few months, and maybe for a few years, is going to be revolving around the ringing of the bell which was fixed outside in the courtyard of the hostel. That was a reality which she had to face. The morning bell to wake up, then for tea, then for bath, then for lining up for prayer, then for lining up for college. And for the next 3 days, the different teachers and wardens and representatives spoke to her, not to her, the whole group repeatedly about the system that is to be followed in the college and also in the hostel. Those 3 days. End of third day, the bell rang for all of them to go off to sleep. That's when she opened her bag, took out a brand new notebook and a pen, wrote the first of the many, 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 many letters which she is going to write to her father. She wrote to her father, Acha, please come and take me away. I don't want to be here. I am all alone. I don't have any friends. I don't like the food here. I don't even like the bed here. I miss my cozy, comfortable bed. I miss all of you. I miss you. I miss mom. I miss my brother, my sister. I miss my cat, my dog, my trees, my plants, my fruits, my flowers, everything. So tomorrow morning you come and then you take me home. I don't want to stay here. Once she finished writing, she looked at the paper and she was surprised that most of what she had written has all smudged because of the unstopped tears flowing down from her eyes. She couldn't see anything much in that paper. She wiped her tears and then she wrote the last sentence in that letter. Anyway, tomorrow is another day. The college starts. But still, I miss all of you. She went off to sleep. She couldn't sleep. She was excited because the college is opening. She was sad because everything was bad for her. Nothing good happened. College opened the next day. A week went past. Friday evening, she went back to her notebook and her pen. She wrote the next letter to her father. Acha, why did you not come? This is bad, very, very, very bad. I never thought that it is this bad. Looks like I am a frog in the well. There is so little that I know, and there is so much that I don't know. Everyone speaks in English here. No one is allowed to even speak in our mother tongue. There are people hanging around trying to check when we are speaking in our mother tongue. Yes, I do understand when they speak in English, but then when I speak in English, I am not able to convey most of what I want to. And the teachers are all talking in English. But I think in my class, some of the children, they don't speak English, but then they all keep quiet. When the teachers talk, they keep quiet. There are a few girls sitting in the front rows. You have to see them. Whenever we try to talk, they make fun of us. They laugh at us. They think they know everything. This is very bad. I feel very, very nervous because you know me. When I have a doubt, I have to clear that. And when I stand up and ask questions, these girls sit and laugh. I don't want to call them even girls. I think I will call them pompous demons. They are actually demons. They make me feel miserable. I don't have a single familiar friend here. See, I even went and spoke to my sister. She is a year older to me, no? But then she just brushed it off. She said, oh, you will get used to it. What does she mean by that? Is it that I will get used to these pompous demons behaving like this to me? And it's not just in the classroom. When we go out to the corridor, when I'm in the playfield, when I'm in the library, even when I'm in the hostel, they follow me and they make fun of me. Acha, I can't stay here. I know what Amma has told me, that I will have to get married. I am coming back. I will get married and go away. Please. I don't want to be studying here. And the food continues to be bad. Whatever Amma has sent, that's almost over. Again, she looked at the paper. Most of what she had written, all gone, disappeared, wiped her tears. And then she wrote again. Anyway, there is one good thing that I want to share with you. The school assembly in the morning. Students are allowed to speak in the assembly about topics that they like. And when the student has finished doing that, the principal claps his hands, and along with that, the teachers and all the other students do that. Acha, I'm sure one day I'm going to get an opportunity to be standing there and speaking. I hope I'll be able to do it. That was the end of her letter to her father. She went off to sleep. Another 3 or 4 days later, she went back to her notebook again. She said, Acha, I really wanted to share something exciting with you. Today, the zoology teacher took a written quiz. And there were 10 questions. And I know you believe me. I got all 10 correct. All 10 answers correct. And even though there were only 7, 8 students who got the answers correct. Even from that pompous demons, only one of them got all the answers correct. I'm so very happy for that. And the zoology teacher, she gifted me an Apsara HB pencil, which those days were a very prized possession for biology students. She said, I'm very happy. I will use it for my practical records. And when the teacher gave it to me, she told me, number 18, well done. Keep it up. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Here in our college, it's not like the school. When they call out the attendance, they can't call out our 60, 70 students' names. No, so they just call out our roll numbers, and my roll number is 18. That's why she told me, number 18, well done. Acha, I'm today very happy. The food is bad, but then I'm hungry, no? So once in a while, I eat whatever they give. I miss all of you. I want to come home. I don't know when I'm going to come. Please come and take me. But then this time she noticed that most of what she had written was there. Very few teardrops came and damaged the paper. 2 days, again she came back to her notebook and she said, there is so much that I had to tell you today, Acha. I don't know whether you have time to listen to it, but you have to listen to it. And she said, do you remember I told you about the English teacher, Kuruvila sir, who has studied in Oxford. And he was the one who is teaching us English language. And you remember I told you he wanted each of us to have a personal copy of Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary? Yes, I remember you told me that my sister has one, so we cannot afford to buy a second one. I talked to her. She said, I can take it, but then she can't bring it to me. I don't know. I will have to face problems, but still I will manage. Yes. Today was the informal class Kuruvila sir took. He said from Monday, he's going to have regular formal classes. So while he was winding up, he asked us, how many of you are fond of reading? Raise your hands. You know me. I raise both my hands. You know I'm fond of books. And when I looked around, there were so many hands that came up. Then he was also very pleased. He said, okay, come. Now let me have a few of you come stand next to me and tell us which is your favorite book and why you like that book. I looked around, most of the hands went down. I wanted to put my hand down, but then you know me, I kept my hand up. There were only 6, 7 of us, but believe me, when others were next to sir and then talking about their book, I didn't hear a word of what they said. I was so nervous, so scared. I wanted to withdraw, but then last minute it's me. I would. So when my turn came, I went there. He asked me, which is your favorite book? Yes, Sacha, you got it right. You know which is my favorite book. Jawaharlal Nehru's letters to his daughter, which he wrote from the jail. Yes, I told him that. And he asked me why. Honestly, I don't remember what I said, but I stood there and spoke about my passion for Jawaharlal Nehru, my books, whatever, whatever. And when I finished, he clapped his hands. I'm sure he would have clapped his hands when others spoke, but I didn't hear it. And I was so very pleased. And I walked to my seat with a raised head. That was when I heard Kurula sir really raising his voice for the first time. And he looked at those girls sitting in the front rows. He said, girls, stand up, all of you. I had been watching you for the past so many days. What do you think you are doing? Whenever some child wants to take some help, is this the way that you behave? So one of them told him, sir, this is the way they speak English. We find it funny. He got annoyed with it. He said, yes, 7, 8 of them came and spoke. Yes, all of them made mistakes. But number 18 was the one who made fewer mistakes. You can imagine how happy I was. Yes, I did make mistakes, but fewer mistakes. I went and sat in my seat, a proud young girl. But the best thing was that when he was leaving, when he was next to the door, he turned back and said, number 18, come and meet me tomorrow in the English department during lunch break. I'm a little scared. I don't know why he's calling me. It has to be about the dictionary. What else can it be? But anyway, let me see. I am all excited. She never went back to her diary for the next 2 weeks, the notebook. When she went back, again after 2 weeks, she said, Acha, I was very busy. You don't know what all happened in the last 2 weeks. No? I told you about going to Kuruvila sir. I went there. We had a long talk. And you know, he gave me a personal copy of the Advanced Learners Dictionary when he heard my story of my sister and me owning one, common one. He said, you keep this with you. Don't give it back to me. And he held my hand. He took me in a journey of words, and sounds and pronunciation and language and dialects and accents. Acha, I don't have time for anything. You know, when I go for lunch, I eat very little and come back and then sit with the dictionary and I look at the words and then write. He makes me read. He makes me read loud. And you know what he said? Very soon, number 18, you will get a chance to be standing in the assembly and speaking. Oh, I wish you were there on that day when I get that chance. That was a journey number 18 took with his teacher. She continued because she was fond of science. So she took a graduation in zoology, went on to do her master's in marine biology, went on to do an MBA in marketing and sales, and also did her B.Ed in teaching. And as life would have it, she moved to the capital city of India. There she started working as a teacher. Very soon, in one of the very reputed, well-known schools in the capital, there she was soon given an opportunity to be the headmistress of the school. And when the school started an international school for their IB, International Baccalaureate and IGCSE students, she was made the principal of the school. A journey which she enjoyed throughout. After a few years, she decided to move to the Middle East. There, she became the academics and operations auditor for a chain of schools. Enjoyed her life thoroughly, took up all the challenges, continued writing these letters which were never ever read by her father. At some point of time, she mentioned to her father, I have this notebook. Do you have the patience to read it? His father said, I know my daughter. I will have to start from the beginning, from the first one. And this is Maya. This is Diewthy. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is the story of you, is it correct?
Yes, Eric. This is me. I know, and not a day passes without I remembering this teacher who was the real catalyst in my life.
Mm-hmm. So some of the story, you told it in the form of letters that you were writing to your father, right?
Pardon?
You were writing letters to your father.
Yes.
And so you told about your experiences in these letters, but did you say you never sent those letters?
Yes, never.
Uh-huh.
But I always go back to them. I always go back to them because, yeah, those are the ones which are filled with my memories and memories connected to people around me.
But just the act of writing to your father and imagining a conversation with your father, I think it gave you strength.
Yes. Yes, absolutely right.
Wonderful. Anybody, any thoughts, comments, questions?
Me.
Your acting was wonderful, I must say. The way you acted out yourself and you acted out the other characters, very fine acting.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Eric. I was a bit nervous.
That's okay, because you didn't just narrate it. You played the characters.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, and that brings the story to life.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Gustavo?
Yes. I was wondering the tears in the letters. Maybe they grew less and less and less each time. That must have question. The tears must have diminished when you wrote the letters because you let your feelings out. That's beautiful image. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Carol?
Good morning. I think that what I enjoyed so much was the tenderness of her father looking back at her that moment. And then I was appalled by you being called number 18. I mean, it's like you're not allowed to use your language and you're not allowed to use your name. Did you do that when you were the head of schools? Did you let kids be called by their name or numbers?
Not really. Actually, when I was a teacher, when I was a student, when we were doing this +2 level, the numbers were huge. Like there were around 60 to 80 students in each classroom. And it's almost impossible. The teachers did remember our names. Teachers have that knack of remembering all the names. But when the attendance was taken, the roll call was done, it was almost impossible for them to call out the full names of 60 to 70 students in the class in a lesson, which is a 1 hour lesson. And we were all happy with that because we were, I was quite excited because he remembered my number, 18, and he knew who it is. So at the same with all the other students. But then when we went for our graduation, the numbers dwindled, in the class where we had only 15 or 20 students. But the +2 level, the sections were huge, a minimum 60 students in a classroom, the teachers had to handle. That's the way it was. So they had no other choice.
That's the way it was. That's the way it was.
But still,
Thank you.
Still the teachers did observe the students. That's a very typical example of a teacher remembering number 18 in a class of 60 and trying to help that child achieve what she wanted. That's most important.
I was so glad you had a compassionate teacher there. What was that teacher's name?
He was Kuruvilla, Mr. Kuruvilla. He did his college in Oxford. But unfortunately, those were the days after those 2 years, I never met him. And it was much later in my life, I realized the impact that he had on me. Because till that time, I just couldn't even feel that, he was responsible for whatever transformation that's happening in me.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you for your story.
everyone. Thank you for that story.
Thank you.
And now we'll stop the recording.